I wouldn't touch it if I was you, Paul. I wouldn't touch the deal.
Can I just walk off now?
Ah, are you allowed to do that? He's back. Yes, Yogesh Patel is back. He got funding in Series 2 for a commercial to residential deal, which I actually ended up funding, and he came back on Series 3 to get funding on another project. Did it interest me this time? We'll find out in this video. So this is a deep dive into a pitch on the hit Sky TV show Property Elevator. If you haven't seen Property Elevator so far, what it basically is a Dragon's Den style pitch show for property projects. It's shown on Sky Channel 191 and it's now in Series 3. Now what happens is entrepreneurs, property entrepreneurs come along onto the show and they pitch to 5 property angels for funding for their property projects. The 5 property angels who feature on the show are John Howard, Nicholas Wallwork, Helen Chorley, Paul Mahoney and myself, Ranjan Bhattacharya. We all go on the show as property angels to fund these projects with our own money. Now, if you are vaguely interested in property, you've got to watch this show because it's an education in itself. Because you see people ask for funding for their property projects, real property deals, and you see property angel investors. You see what criteria they have for investing in a deal, for funding a deal, what risks they look at, what opportunities they deem fundable, and what entrepreneurs they deem backable. So it's very, very educational indeed. And it proves a point, which is if the deal is good enough, then finding the funding is not a problem. If you've missed any of the episodes so far, then you can binge watch the whole lot. You can binge watch the box set as it went out on Sky Channel 191, completely free of ads. And you can do this at this site here. It's succeedinproperty.com/box set. You can sign up for a free account and watch the entire series there on demand for free. Now back to this pitch. Now Dr. Yogesh Patel came on Series 2 of Property Elevator. I ended up funding his deal and it was very exciting too. He came back again on Series 3 to present a different type of deal. It wasn't a commercial to residential deal. Let's join the show's presenter, Elizabeth Warburton, as she meets Yogesh before he comes in to face us angels.
So he's back for more. It's Yogesh from season 2. Welcome back.
Hi, nice to see you again.
Lovely to see you too.
Yeah.
So tell us about the deal that you brought this time.
This time I brought a house which can be demolished and turned into at least 7 flats.
So how much backing do you need? How much funding?
Oh, money, about £400,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
And GDV?
3.2 million.
So a very nice, healthy GVD there.
Yes, there's a big profit. A profit around £800,000.
Wow.
So doubling your money.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All exciting.
I'm excited to do it again. Yeah.
Good.
Looking forward to meeting them again.
Oh, that will be really, really nice. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
And I'll have a chat to you when you get out.
The name Yogesh rings a bell to me. I think he's we've been on the show before with us, hasn't he, Yogesh? Didn't you
Series
both
2 veteran.
agree a deal, wasn't it? Nicholas, Helen and myself who wanted to do the deal with him and he said no to us.
I think we got a bit of the naughty corner.
He said yes to you and Ranja. You split it, didn't you, between you, the deal?
Well, I think John's gritting his teeth as he's saying that. Yes, Yogesh was the only person in Series 2 to actually win the backing of funding from all 5 of the angels. And of course he went with myself and Paul as we combined forces to offer Yogesh the funds for that particular project, which was a very exciting commercial to residential conversion project. And if you missed it, you can see the analysis of that in this link that I'll leave up there and in the description below. But let's see what Yogesh is bringing to us this time.
The deal.
But we won't hold that against him.
We won't hold that against him this time. Yogesh. Hello. We recognise you. We know who you are. But for the benefit of the new viewers we have this time of the show, would you like to say who you are and also what experience you've got briefly and what deal you brought to us today, please?
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me. So my name's Dr. Yogesh Patel. I really enjoyed it last time. It was a great time. So I was going to do this
We
deal.
didn't, by the way, because you blew the three
I
of
did,
us out.
Yogesh. I enjoyed it, don't
You
worry.
blew the
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it too.
three of us out, Yogesh, but carry on.
We've not
It was a
forgotten
good
that.
appearance in,
So you're
in the last
pitching-
series.
Pitching to your two best friends over there.
Yeah, you want to just point at these
Just
two,
look
don't
this
you?
way.
Just look that way, don't you?
Don't worry about that lot.
Shall I just walk off now?
No, you're okay.
You've got two angels to
The
talk
great
to.
thing, Yogesh, we don't hold grudges, do we, Helen?
Only a bit.
Only a little bit. Helen tends to, but I don't. So carry on.
It's your
Sorry.
chance now.
Yeah, it's our big chance.
Oh, thank you.
It's
Wow.
our big chance.
I'm so honoured.
Carry on.
I was going to do this deal myself, but then I thought I got the invitation. I thought, let me apply again. I've secured the deal. It's subject to planning deal. It's a detached house in Bromley, which you can knock down and convert into at least 7 flats, potentially.
Now that's very good, actually. I mean, if you notice, he said the phrase subject to planning, and this was very similar to the deal that he presented in, well, not very similar in terms of the type of deal, because that was a commercial to residential conversion, but the type of deal he presented in Series 2. Subject to planning means that it de-risks the project from the angel investor's point of view, meaning that if you don't get the planning, you haven't committed your funds and you have no loss. So straight off the bat, Yogesh has come in and said something exceptionally positive, which tends to perk the ears up of the angel investors. That key phrase, subject to planning, no risk, because you don't commit your funds until you know that you're going to get planning.
Bromley, it's got excellent transport links, amenities. I've already submitted the pre-app and I've asked 3 different planning consultants about what they think. And they're all very positive about this. It's in a very...
No, that's very essential. Of course, as a property entrepreneur, you will educate yourself and you'll get to know about the planning rules and policies, what you can do, what you can't do, what's under planning permission, what's under permitted development. But it doesn't matter how much you educate yourself and how much you know, it is still absolutely imperative that you get your judgment validated by a planning consultant. You pay them to go through the detail and give you their professional opinion. I do that on every single project that we do, even though I feel I know permitted development in particular inside out. I will never commit to a project without getting that validation from a planning consultant. And Yogesh is saying that he's kind of de-risked that element by going out there and getting 3 planning consultants to corroborate his initial assessment.
It's in a very... it's already in the area with lots of flats. Purchase price 1 million. Build cost 1.1 million. The GDV for the 7 flats is 3.2 million. It's about £300,000 of costs, finance and stamp duty really, so it leaves £800,000 profit to share. Profit on GDV is 25%, profit on costs is 33%, and profit on cash invested is 180%. So that's 800.
Now you see Yogesh has presented a whole bunch of figures there, and it's all the salient figures, and you can see us taking notes in these little binders. Well, what's in there? Well, this is the pack that Yogesh presented each one of us angels on the show. And it's very, very thorough. It's got literally plenty of pretty pictures, but lots and lots of figures and detail, which obviously keeps Helen very, very happy about what the project is all about. And in particular, these all-important returns, these profit margins, that he's expecting. A very, very thorough pack. Now, if you're looking to come on the show, because actually in 2022, there are 2 series coming up. We've been signed up for 2 new series. There'll be Series 4 and Series 5. So you'll have an opportunity to pitch your property project for funding when we do the filming of those series. Now, it's very, very important. Now, when you actually come on the show, people present their figures. People present a pack that we have so that we have something to go on, because of course as you're speaking, as you're making your pitch, we can't remember everything, so it's very, very important to have a pack. Now, as angels, we only get this pack 5 minutes before you come on, so pretty much 5 minutes before you come on to see us, we've had this pack, but it's absolutely invaluable. I mean, don't do what one guy did in Series 2. He rocked up to pitch and he literally had 2 pieces of A4 handout, and he had 1 copy, and he expected us to share. I mean, please, give us. Some of us angels don't like sharing the deal, let alone an information pack. So do make sure you give each of us one of these packs. Now, you don't have to go and professionally bind it like Yogesh did, but actually having some pictures so that we can see what it is we're letting ourselves in for, the figures nicely presented, and right at the beginning some clear diagrams of your plans and the figures and the margins, and also answer on the executive summary. Now, when you have an executive summary right at the beginning, you can see some of my notes. Right at the beginning, he's got a project overview. And in that project overview, he's saying a couple of things. Briefly, what the project's all about. How much money he's looking from us as angel investors for this project. What the end value is, what the margin is, and what our return is, what we get out of it. And that is all laid in the initial overview, and of course the timescale for getting that return. So, well, full marks for Yogesh for the pack. I've got to say something bad about him, haven't I? I've been full of praise. Well, I don't like his shirt-tie combination. There you go, for a bit of balance. Let's get back to
£1,000 profit for 7 flats. I think with your help, with your expertise, you might be able to get 8 or 9 flats. The parking is a limitation here, not the size of the plot. And also we could try planning in principle to try and de-risk the deal further. I did think about Class ZA, where you can knock down the house and rebuild the flats, but which I heard from your YouTube video, Ranjan.
Oh, don't start. I tell you what, how long's that taken him to say that?
Well, he's only talking to 2 people, so
Oh,
we knew that.
Well, people learn so much from this YouTube channel. So if you're not already a subscriber, because we know that 60% of you who watch this content are not actually subscribers, make sure you subscribe. If you're getting value from this video, subscribe, hit the bell icon. You'll be notified as soon as we upload a new video. And maybe you can do successful deals like Yogesh. But let's look at John cringe there as yet another person rocks up and mentions that they learnt so much from this YouTube channel.
We knew that.
I'll face this way. So if one of you 3 want to put in £400,000,
Yeah.
I'll put in.
Well, we might do.
I'll put in 50. Okay.
That's good of you.
Development finance.
Is that £50 or 50,000? This needs a bit of clarification.
Development finance will fund the rest of the purchase.
Yep.
And I've got 2 special ways to build to finance the build. So development finance will do 100%. Well, I've got experienced team project managers and builders who I've worked with before who's happy to do that. Or I've got one special builder I've worked with. He will fund the whole lot, do the whole lot, and not want any money until the plats are sold. Really? And they will do it 100%, promise. And
What do you need us for?
well, I wanted your help with planning, particularly, and maximising it and making sure I've got the right optimization of the flats and increasing the number of flats. That's particularly what I would like help with. Also, I think with
a little bit of a wobble there. You can see me and John and some of the others were wondering about this thing about the builder actually having the funds and wanting to back this guy. So I'm going to comment on that a little bit later, but let's just hear a little bit more about this line of questioning, because there's some very, very important things that you've got to take into mind if you're going to JV with an actual builder, the person who's actually constructing the project. And I'm going to come on to that in a moment.
I think with the build and the project management, I think there's always lots of ways of improving, reducing costs, reducing time. And I've done it, but I'd like to do it with a team who's been doing it much more than me.
Okay.
So I want your experience.
Okay, that's great. So who would like to start? We might as well start with your favourite.
Oh, I thought you was talking to Paul. Okay, so you want to knock this place down.
Yeah.
It's 1850. Are there any restrictions on doing demolition work of these sort of old buildings?
Not conservation area, not a listed building, not locally or nationally listed. It's a flatted area, as I said. And Bromley local plan want family homes.
Well, he's done a little bit of checking out there, isn't it? It's an old building. You know, you've got to check all that out. I mean, you may want to demolish and rebuild, but are you allowed to do it? Yes, you can. He's ticked all those boxes. When you've got the existing building doesn't look too bad. Have you looked into the possibility of what can be done within the if anything, is worth doing within the existing envelope? Because it doesn't look that bad.
The parking, it's very forward. So there's not enough room to put the parking if it stays there. They want at least 5 parking.
Okay. And £1 million purchase price still negotiable?
So I've secured it as 1 million on a purchase lease option.
Okay. But it's subject to, obviously it's subject to planning. If you don't get the planning.
Yeah, subject to planning, yeah.
What have you put in for the demolition of the building?
About 35 to 40,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can live with that. Very good.
And is that in with the building contingency?
I did £2,100 per square foot, which I think is more than it will be.
The build cost is including all the
Demo.
consultants' fees and demo.
Yes.
So it includes all that.
And SIL.
SIL's not in the build cost. SIL's in the...
But you've allowed for it.
allowed for it, yeah.
Also, there's no contingency in there? Or it's not split out?
I haven't
is
split
there?
it out. So the 1.1 includes contingency.
So this this infamous 1.1 is starting to include quite a lot of stuff, isn't it? Does it include a holiday as well, or is that extra?
I do think
£2,100
per square metre is more than it should
Well,
be.
the only thing I would say, Yogesh, is that build costs are going through the roof at the moment. I know they're talking about them coming down in 9 to a year's time again, but at the moment, if you were to get planning in 3 months, 4 months, and want to start, these builders at the moment are having a real problem in fixing prices because of the build cost just going through the roof.
I think the issue here is that Yogesh has presented quite a lot of information in his packs, quite a lot of detailed numbers. So there's quite a lot there for people to scrutinise and go through. And there are 2 schools of thought here. One is where you actually estimate build costs based on a cost per square metre or cost per square foot. Now, when you're doing demolition and rebuild, it is relatively straightforward to do that. When you're doing conversion within an existing building, it's a little bit harder because it depends on what the building you're converting is. But when you're flattening the whole thing, the only variable cost is the cost of the flattening, really, which depends on how much stuff you have to cart away and how complicated that is. And then when you build new, the only other variable cost is the foundation and the groundworks and the drainage. As soon as you're out of the ground, everything else is reasonably predictable. And £2,100 per square metre, which is what he's been is working on, is fairly sensible for that sort of build. And it kind of includes a little bit of contingency, if you like, for increasing building costs. Now, John is absolutely correct, because we've all noticed that building costs have risen, particularly over the last year. Inflation, currency printing, all that sort of stuff, Brexit, truck drivers, it's all played its part in meaning that construction materials costs have gone one way and that's up. But it is very, very difficult for anyone to predict what those costs are likely to be over a 12-month period. So the best thing is to take the sort of cost per metre type of estimate for what it will cost you to build new build and then add a little bit to it. And I think that's what the approach Yogesh has taken to his build cost estimates here.
What percentage of that are you counting as the consultants' fees, architects, any surveys needing doing, that kind of stuff?
It was about 10%.
Okay, that's a good amount for that kind of size site.
Okay, well,
I think we're just getting bogged down in a little bit of detail, really. It's just it had a amount for the whole lot. I mean, there's some little bit of detailed finicky questioning going on.
Okay, well, we don't need to spend 10% with that lot, that's for sure. Thank goodness.
We'll get back to the video in just a moment. What is the most exciting opportunity in property right now? And that is repurposing defunct commercial buildings to residential use. Now, most people don't really know where to start, what to look for, and how to exploit these opportunities. And that's why I've prepared 90 minutes of free training for you to get you started on this wonderful journey. You can register for this free training at property-workshop.com. Join me on that free training, and I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of the video. How long has the pre-app been in? At what stage is it at?
It should be imminently decided. It went in the April. So The council's quite slow.
Well, a little bit of jargon there. What's happened here, pre-app basically is a pre-application. So what Yogesh has done has submitted a pre-application to the council, which is like it's a heads up to the council. It's to say, look, we're thinking of putting in this as a full application. If we were to put in this as a full planning application, what do you think about it? And then you get some initial feedback and pointers. And if you take those pointers into consideration and you submit your planning application taking into account any pre-app advice that you've had, then in theory your planning application will be treated more favourably. So that's what's going on here, and that's what Yogesh has done.
It's quite slow, but should be imminently decided. But
We're doing 56. How long is it?
28
That's
days,
your
isn't it?
very good. 28 days, isn't it?
Supposed to be. I mean,
Pre-app is a bit difficult.
It doesn't
because
Yeah.
sometimes it's how long is a piece of string.
Well, it should be 28. That's the whole point of a pre-app.
Yeah, I know, but I've never had one
Yeah.
in 28 days.
I have, to be
I've
fair.
had a
I have
few,
at
yeah.
times. Yeah, I have.
that's where I need your help, John.
Pre-applications are something which there is no statutory time limit for the council to respond in. So where we have a planning application, the council is meant to respond in 8 weeks. Where we have permitted development, they're meant to respond in 56 days. But there is absolutely no time limit or time a deadline for a pre-app. So some councils are better than others. So with some councils that I've dealt with, I've been very unlucky and it's dragged on 6-7 months just to get some pre-app advice. But other councils are a little bit of a sort of shorter timescale. And this doesn't really depend on how good your planning consultant is or how good you are. It just depends on the workload of the council and how much they favour development or not. It's as simple as that.
Need your help, John.
No, well, I can't. Well, it's already in. I can't do a lot about this one, Yogesh. But you might well get my help. Might well be pleasantly surprised. Mind you, you might turn me down again, of course. I'm ready to make an offer.
Well, John's getting his checkbook out. Let's see what he says.
Can I go first?
Go for it.
I would like to offer you all the money to do the deal, apart from the 50 grand that you want to pop in. That's a bit of hurt money. That's good. Thank you. And I'll give you, or I'm willing to give you, 40% of the profit, net profit.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. You might get this, John.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
I'm willing to offer on it.
So close, John. So close.
Wow. Now, remember, in Series 2, Yogesh actually was the only person to win a clean sweep, meaning every angel offered him funding. It looks like 2 out of 2 so far. Let's see what happens.
So close.
So
That's one of his best friends as
Yeah,
well.
I know,
that
he's his best mate. I'm out one time.
one thing that I can offer that potentially John can't is I can sell these off plan and lock in the profit from day one.
Well, can
That's
I
not
just...
bad at all, is it,
Yogesh,
Paul?
can I just say...
That's why he's your best friend.
if we do the deal, Yogesh, we
You
can
can be
go
my
to
best
Paul
friend.
and Paul can do that for us anyway.
No, I won't do
So,
that.
and he's meant to be a mate of mine and I'm doing business with him.
I won't do that.
Bit of squabbling going on already. But Paul hasn't got his offer yet. Got to his offer yet. Let's see what he says.
I wouldn't touch it if I was you,
parking.
Paul. I wouldn't touch the deal.
So everything I've just said, and I'll give you 45% of the profit.
Thank you, Paul.
Wow. So John is offering Yogesh 60-40 split, and Paul is basically offering him the same deal, but with 45% of the profit.
Right.
Well, can you remind me of your deal with your very wealthy, tons of money in the bank, doesn't need it for any time soon developer friend? What percentage does he want?
I haven't negotiated that yet.
No. Well, I think that's probably pie in the
But
sky. You can forget about that.
He didn't get the sense he would be greedy or anything. He wants to work. I don't believe it would be that much more than he would have charged me normally. But we can get 2 quotes and get his normal quote, his other quote, and see if it's
It's obviously
worth it.
going to want a share of the profit though, right?
Yeah, he would want a share. And obviously that share profit was more than development finance. There's no point using him.
Worth looking into, but likely unless things.
I think one advantage is he would keep the cost down if it was profit sharing, because he'd be into his incentive to do that.
Yeah,
So
well,
that-
I'm not sharing it. I'm not sharing it 3 ways.
I like a good 3-way, and I'd offer you on the base.
Well, let's get this back to property. I'm not sure what the builder can bring to the party here, quite frankly. And the problem is that often the builder, JVs with the builder, don't quite work out because it's who gets money out of the deal at what stage of the deal. Now, usually the builder wants to be paid throughout the project, so they will be charging for the labour, the subcontractors and all of that, and the materials. They'll be charging the project for all of that. So basically the builder is getting 2 paydays. They're getting payment for the works as they progress, and they're also getting a share of the profits. So that sometimes, or that all times, is not a great idea. So fully agree with all these guys in terms of skepticism of the 3-way split.
I'll offer you on the basis that your guy does a 3-way with us.
Okay.
I'd only want 30% of the joint profit between us, assuming ours is the sort of 100% portion.
What does that mean in English?
Let's say the builder wants 50%.
After the bill taken.
It doesn't sound like that's a real thing.
I want 15%. So depending on how keen you can get that deal with the builder, if you can get the cost down by using him, potentially there's more profit, and my share would be potentially 0, depending on how low you can get those build costs.
Very interesting.
Helen?
That's a novel one.
I'm very confused by that, and I think he hasn't really thought this one through, quite frankly. To get a builder to basically take all their profit at the end of the project would mean that the builder has got to fund all their subcontractors, all the materials and all of that. And most builders are simply not in that financial position to be able to do that. If they were, they'd be doing their own deals. It's as simple as that. And I don't think Nick has fully considered the mechanics of how that deal would work. What would end up happening is the builder, out of that 3-way split, the builder would end up making more money because they would be making a profit on the build works plus the end profit from the share once it's all sold.
That's a novel one for you.
Yeah.
Well, I can't compete with anything that's on the table here, so I'll rule myself out and won't add to your...
Wow. So series 2, Yogesh, you got a clean sweep. You got an offer from everyone. This series, you have fallen short. Helen is not backing you. So you've only got an offer from 3 angels. One with you getting 40% of the profit from John, one with you getting 45 from Paul, and another one which I really don't fully understand from Nick, which involves some kind of 3-way thing. So let's see what happens next.
Won't add to your headache for deciding.
Would you work with somebody before you rule yourself out?
Who, me?
Well, one day you can share, John, can't you?
I don't share.
One day.
John
I
doesn't
don't share with any angel.
Never ever.
Nope.
What a meano, eh? What a meano.
With my offer, we don't need any finance, so that would rule out, unfortunately,
Exactly,
us
it doesn't
working
work.
together.
Still got to purchase. You've got to still. Got
I
to
would be more
purchase
than
the
willing
property.
to work with Helen. But
Nicholas, you still got to purchase the property.
Yeah, still need to fund the.
Still need to
million
purchase. You still got to find 1.1 million or whatever it is.
good point.
Just thought I'd mention it.
Unless you're going to put in $1 million.
No, I'm not putting $1 million in.
No.
Listen, I like the fact that you've done this conditionally. That's good. I think there's a lot to play around with in upping the GDV through optimizing the planning on this one. My proposal is, okay, you've either got here, you've got £1 million purchase still negotiable. So if you can get that down to 950, or increase your input from 50 to 100, I'll share with you 50-50. And we'll do this deal and we'll probably make it better than that GDV.
I'm going to change my offer if I may.
Are you allowed to do that? I mean, come on, that is a very, 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 very cheeky John. Now, look, everyone comes along. You can see me just exasperating there. They've all made their offers and he comes along and changes it. I thought that guy in the purple tie, I thought he actually said something quite sensible there. He kind of listened to what the others were offering. There was a plain offer from John, plain offer from Paul, which just upped it a little bit. And then Nick, God knows what he was offering, quite frankly. And then me coming in with something slightly different, but offering him a slightly bigger portion of the pie. And then John wants to come back and have another go.
If I may.
Oh, you can't do that.
Oh, he makes up the rules. He can do what he wants.
So here we go.
I'll go a straight 50-50 with you.
Yeah.
You put no money in, just the stamp duty, okay? But you sign a personal guarantee with me, because we're both going to sign a personal guarantee on this with the bank.
And the stamp duty, as I've put in the pack.
44.5 or 86 if the house isn't knocked down.
Paul's offer is a straightforward 45.
Do the other panellists get to review their offers, John?
Well, it's up to
Well, actually, that's a very, very good question, Paul. Listen, don't ask, just dive in. Just say, look, if you want to review your offer, dive in.
Guy in the middle.
time's pushing on. I just want to get this wrapped. I want to get this wrapped up. Obviously,
One last change to mine. I would do the same as what John offered, but keeping in mind that I can pre-sell it.
Okay.
Yogesh is having a field day here. I mean, look at his face. I mean, he's just delighted. I mean, everyone's just upping the ante. I mean, I think there may be too many motivated angels here. Let's see how this pans out.
Okay.
I'll do it 50-50 on the figures that you've given. I think the value here is not in getting the builder to fund it, it's on optimising the planning.
Ranjan, would you be willing to do that with me?
God, they're going to stitch me up again, aren't they? I can't believe it's happening.
Listen, that was an interesting proposal. And you can see me deep in thought there.
If it's happening twice.
Deja vu.
Deja vu. Deja vu.
No, I think I'm going to stick to my guns on this. I think this is. I'm not sure. I do agree with John that the sales angle is not a big deal on this, and I don't think it's that complicated a project actually.
So logically, your offer is the best.
So basically, I was taking the John approach. I'm not sharing. You know, I shared with Paul last time. Great guy and everything. Maybe I should have done just for the fun. But I think after Nicholas, you know, and his rant, I think I just got put off three ways, really. I think that was my thing.
Offer is the best because
It is the best.
I don't need to put money
for many
in.
reasons. It's the best, Yogesh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't you have to put the stamp in?
Oh, sorry, it's stamp
So
duty.
you
Yeah.
have to put the stamp in.
Put the stamp in, and we go and we have to sign the personal guarantee together, both of us.
Whoever I pick, I'm going to upset someone, aren't I?
I think the thing here is that it somehow got a little bit confused, and I should have come in here on the show and mentioned something, because really my offer was no different to John's whatsoever. They're both equivalent 50-50 offers.
Well, you've upset me last time, so we're still talking, Yogesh. So don't think you just got to pick me for that reason. I mean, at the end of the day, you know Ranjan well, and you know Paul because you've worked with them before, and I understand that completely. And it's all a bit of fun, and you know I'm not going to hold any grudges for more than about 24 hours, probably.
My gut says.
Oh, bloody hell, how long are you going to leave us in suspense?
My gut says.
Come on, mate. I mean, these shows are not meant to work like this. I thought it was the contestant that comes on and all the judges kind of put these guys into suspense. But this is the other way round. What's going on?
Because I've already worked with you, I think I'd like to give someone else a chance.
Oh, right. Oh, thanks very much, Yogesh. So you're bored with me. Is that what you're saying?
That's what my gut says. Hopefully you won't be too upset, but I think, and also your deal's better on the numbers, and it'd just be nice to work with someone different. I think.
What a tart, eh? You know, he comes on this show as a total tart. He's used and abused me in series 2, and now he's off with John. Well, thank you very much.
But I think you're all giving me generous offers, and it'd be nice to have another friend.
Oh, isn't that sweet? Well, you know, you lost me, mate.
John?
Great. Thank you very much. Be delighted to work with you, Yogesh. Let's see if we can make it a success. I'm sure we can.
Of course, no grudges there. Shortly after that was filmed, Yogesh took me out for a lovely dinner in southwest London to apologise as a consolation prize, if you like, for not going with me. Great chap, great entrepreneur. He's going places, so best of luck with that deal. All of this is in jest. It's a fabulous project and you've done well with John.
So I heard a lot of laughter in the room. Did you get another royal flush this time?
Almost. So they all were interested. They all wanted to offer. I think because Helen couldn't match the other offers, so she just stepped out gracefully. But basically, yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So who did you go for? Is it another split?
So no one wanted to share this time.
Right.
So that made it a bit harder.
Greedy angels.
Yes, they were all not sharing. So I had to pick one and only one. And I picked John, mainly because he gave me the best offer, I think numerically. And also I've worked with the other two who offered. So I thought, let me try someone new.
Okay, go for a new friend.
New friend, yeah.
Well, congratulations. That's amazing news. When do you hope to kind of make the next steps?
Yeah, so I think John will be calling me tomorrow and then we'll go from there.
Right, so quick turnaround.
Quick turnaround.
Off you go.
Thank you.
Oh, well, good luck with it and I hope it all goes really well.
Yeah.
Two against one.
Well, I actually thought they were going to team up against me.
Well, maybe I should have done it.
If you'd have split it with me, we would have got it.
Yeah, we would
Yeah,
have
you
got
would've
it.
got
I
it.
just thought I'd
Yeah.
try the old John line I ain't sharing, and look where it got me.
That's exactly true. I thought, well, John does this, I'm not sharing lark, so I thought I'd give it a try and look what happened.
But I mean, he's a very experienced guy, very likeable, isn't he? Very experienced.
He knew what he was doing.
And he
Great
knows
pack again.
Great pack, and so much gives you so much confidence when you get a pack that we can understand and relate to and all the rest of it. It makes a huge difference, doesn't it? Yeah, well, you got three of us who wanted to do it, so it says it all, doesn't it? Yeah.
So that makes you buying dinner, John.
I think it means you are because of the successes you had last year, Nicholas.
So there you have it. Yogesh walks out of Property Elevator with funding for a second deal. Let's see whether he's back for Series 4. Series 4, of course, films later on next year. And as soon as we film, we will let you know. We'll let you know if you want to pitch your project for funding on that show. Now, the first thing you need to do, by the way, is of course subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon and all of that, because we put out a lot of videos. But if you want to binge watch all of Series 3's Property Elevator and watch the episodes as they went out on telly, and also see my deep dive analyses of each pitch, then you can do so at succeedingproperty.com/box set. The link's in the description below. Sign up for that. It's absolutely free. Watch it on demand, completely ad-free. You'll learn a hell of a lot. Anyway, that's all for this video. See you guys next time soon.
High streets across the land are changing forever. Basically, there's an oversupply of retail premises. Shops are closing down, more are going to close down in the future. The government know this, and that's why they're introducing a light touch planning system which allows small developers to easily repurpose these buildings to residential use under a light touch planning regime called permitted development. Now, this is going to be the biggest revolution and the biggest change and the biggest opportunity for property investors that I've ever seen. And this is all coming into effect on 1st of August. So you need to know what's happening and what properties to look for to take advantage of these opportunities so that you can get in there and take that first mover advantage. I've got a 90-minute free masterclass to get you ready for August the 1st. Make sure you join me, click the link below. Whether you're a beginner or expert, we'll get you started.